Hi and welcome to Joe's Watch Show. I'm Joe. Today we've got a double unboxing of two AliExpress watches I just picked up in the spring sale. Let's get right to it. Okay, this arrived yesterday in the mail. Let's open it up. That is okay, we'll size it for my 7-inch wrist, then we'll come back. Okay, we are back. I've got it sized. I took out 3 links. For me, the gold Seiko Pogue throwback dial is just spectacular. I mean, it's definitely a sunray dial. It's got that glow to it. Really awesome. And I don't really see much out there in the market other than the Seiko speed timer, the new one, that look. Really nothing else out there that I could see. So for that, I think it's a really great choice. The case shape itself, 62 MAS for sure. Does have drilled lugs, which is really a nice surprise at this price point. We'll talk about the price later. Let's look at the actual specs on this. The bezels are a little proud of the case at 40.8, but the case itself is 40 millimeters. The thickness on this is 13.7. The lug width is 20. Lug to lug on this, 49.8 I get. And again, those are drilled lugs. You can see them right there. That's a really nice thing to see. Case itself is 316L stainless steel with some really nice, actually really nice finishing. The polishing on the sides and some brushing on the top lugs. The bracelet itself, the sides are polished. Links are all brushed. Nice milled scissor clasp. Really just okay clasp itself, and this to me is the bummer on it, is only has 3 micro adjusts. That's definitely a gripe and grievance for me. Bezel is ceramic. Movement on this is a bit intriguing. I've not had one of these. This is a Seiko VS75B solar quartz movement. So no battery required, no battery changing. It's not an automatic movement, so there is no winding or any of that. You set it and forget it. As long as you get some light on it every now and then, you're good. Classic chronograph, seconds hands on the dial on the left, 24-hour on the right, and the hour on the bottom in the center. It does have a date complication at around just past 4 o'clock, between 4 and 5. The crown is screw down, so are the pushers. And we can look at the chronograph movement and unscrew those crowns. And we can set that to go. There it goes. And we can stop it and then reset it back to 12. Everything looks like it's working great. Of course, when you take those pushers and unscrew them, always make sure you screw them back down to keep the water resistance at its fullest, which this claims, I believe, because it's got a screw down crown and a screw down case back, to be 200 meters. And it does say sapphire crystal on the back. Japanese photokinetic movement, aka solar quartz, and the Tactical Frog logo on the back, which I kind of like. I get it, you know, frogman, like scuba diving. Those are solid end links on the bracelet as well. And again, that is a screw down case back. I'm going to probably take that clasp and find a 5 or 6 micro adjust clasp that I can swap out, which I do on a lot of my watches that come with a sub acceptable amount of micro adjustments, which 3 is just not cutting it. And we're going to come right back and look at the Lume and check that sapphire crystal. It's definitely sapphire, and that's good to know. And it is a really nice piece. You can see it. It is domed and proud of the bezel, but a nice looking piece of sapphire crystal. And again, that dial, I can't wait to get out in the sunlight. Okay, we're back to look at that Lume. Looks pretty bright to me. It's so bright it's actually lighting up the dial in the back. Your markers are loomed. Hands, of course, minute and hour hands are, but so are the subdials, which is actually very nice to see. Very bright. I mean, we're just hanging out here and I don't see any sign of it fading. Okay, we'll turn the lights back on and we'll finish this up. Here we go. So this is the FXD, the Tudor homage. Let's get that off. Okay, this is a bit easier here. So there it is. It's got some texture on the dial itself. This is a titanium case. Super, super light. Obviously it doesn't have a bracelet, so it's really, really light, which I like. Used to wear some really chunky watches back in the day. I wore stuff that was crazy, 52 and 53 millimeter cases. They were just absolutely arm breakers. I'll talk about that in another video on my overall journey of watch collecting and what I've learned over the years. But I've really grown a real interest in lightening what I would put on my wrist, and I'm really getting used to smaller cases, which I really never thought I would. You know, I'd never, sub 40, forget it. Great looking watch as far as, yes, it is a homage to an FXD Tudor. And what's neat about this is different, right? Because it's got a bi-directional bezel, which to me, I'm only seen on GMTs for real purpose, not on a dive watch. And I believe this is only a 60 click bezel, and it's the action on this is, and again, I know it's titanium, but the action on this is not great. And I had heard about that before buying it. Let's see if it does line up at least. Yeah, it lines up. Everything says that's a ceramic bezel, and it's a matte ceramic bezel, which again, I like it. I think it looks good. The printing on it is nice and clean, as are the details on the dial. That Tactical Frog logo. It looks like it's printed, or it almost looks like it might be raised. I think it might be raised. Looks pretty good. Dials look good, sub-dials look good. Date is there. Super small date window, but it's there at between 4 and 5. It's the same solar movement as the last one, the Seiko VS75B solar quartz movement. What makes this particular watch unique are the fixed lugs. Never had a watch with fixed lugs. I think it's a really cool tactical look. This is titanium again, as I mentioned before. Super light, crazy light. There's that, I kind of like it, Tactical Frog, which he's got almost like goggles on, right? These are also screw down pushers, and a screw down crown, I'm almost positive. But there's the setting the chrono off, stopping it, setting it back, lines up, works like a charm. And again, always close those pushers because you don't want to get water in the watch. And let's check the crown on this. Pops out. Let's set that date. Today is March 1st. There it goes. That works pretty well. Okay, we're back, but it's certainly comfortable. Light on the wrist with that titanium, and again that nylon Velcro closure strap, light and comfortable as well. We'll turn the lights out real quick and check the lume. Well, we have a fully lumed bezel, which looks fantastic, as well as the markers, hands, and the sub-dials. Those are little lume blocks on the dial from, as far as the indices, which that's a thing now. A lot of watch companies are doing that because it's just an incredible way to pack lume in a marker. Looks great. Again, I love a fully lumed face, indices, obviously all the hands, including the sub-dials. But to me, the bezel really is, if that's not lume these days, it's sort of a miss, I think, by a lot of watch companies. But Tactical Frog, I think, did a great job on this. It's a really great budget homage to a Tudor FXD. And again, you want a comfortable, light watch, everyday vacation. Yeah, I think this really does the trick. The bezel to me is a little weak on the action. 60 clicks is also weak. Bidirectional, again, I could be wrong, but I don't see the practicality there. Any diver is always not bidirectional, but unidirectional, and it has a little bit more locking in place. This has a complete 100% playback, I guess you would say. This, I believe, I paid $125. And again, from what I could see, based on all the other stores on AliExpress, that was by far the least expensive price. And I will leave the affiliate link as well to this one in the description. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, please like and subscribe, and take a look at the next video on screen. And thanks for watching.